Good afternoon, faculty, staff, coaches, families, friends, and to the resilient class of 2020. You did it. You did it, ladies. You crossed a major finish line to a race that had twists and turns that no one could have predicted. Every class has had its challenges and things that it's overcome, but you will forever have the legacy of having accomplished something far bigger. You've taken a challenge and showed it who's lady boss. And you know, with challenge comes opportunity, but not everybody sees it that way. When challenges greet some people, they cower. They become stuck in indecision, have great difficulty in moving forward, and possibly never see the finish line. But not you. Oh no, not you. You were faced with a formidable challenge, the magnitude of which this world has never seen. And in the thick of it, you demonstrated courage, leadership, and perseverance. You learned new skills as you navigated Google Meetups. You leveled up your independence game as you completed your studies without a teacher watching over you. And you responded to change after change with a can-do attitude and by keeping your eye on the prize of this very day, graduation day. You've accomplished more in a matter of months than some people have in a lifetime of a career. And you passed a test that is far beyond anything even an AP course could teach you. So, in addition to a prestigious diploma from a phenomenal high school, you deserve a huge pat on the back. In fact, I invite the people sitting around you right now, who, if we were in the peristyle, we wouldn't be able to do this. Please give your graduate a heartfelt pat on the back. For the finish line that she's crossed deserves to be recognized on a platinum level. Seeing challenges as opportunities rather than obstacles is a skill that all great leaders possess. This strength, this superpower, will carry you through many challenges to come and guide you in converting them into opportunities. And speaking of opportunities, I want to share with you today 3 pieces of advice, secrets to success, that will continue to open doors for you in your college life and beyond. These will allow you to achieve happiness, satisfaction, and later on job opportunities and even promotions. The first is to never forget the power and the value of your voice. Your voice is your vehicle for visibility, ladies. It's how you're heard and it's how you're seen. And it's not that you have to be the loudest in the room, but expressing your ideas and sharing your thoughts is something that the world needs to hear. Statistics show that graduates of all girls high schools are particularly adept at this. Continue to carry yourself with the bravery and self-worth you have today. Use your voice and continue to speak up. Even after you raise your hand and answer a question incorrectly, do it again. Just like the esteemed philosopher Taylor Swift would tell us, shake it off and raise that hand again. In your next classes, your college classes, the diversity of your classmates will increase. You will be surrounded by women and men who come from backgrounds far different than what you've known. All the more reason to share your unique perspective by using your voice, by listening to theirs, and by contributing your value to the discussion. You know, when I talk about voice, I can't help but think about the movie The Little Mermaid, whose villain, the sea witch, has a strange coincidence of sharing the same name as our hallowed alma mater. But what does Ariel do as she bargains with Ursula? She allows Ursula to take her voice. She signs away her most prized possession. You may encounter sea witches of your own throughout your life who will try to intimidate you into silencing your voice, but you'll know better and be stronger than to allow that. And should you slip and temporarily sign away your voice, by all means, do not rely on the kiss of a boy to get it back. I mean, Prince Eric had a lot going for him, but Disney could have thought a little more through that script. Your voice is a precious gift God gave you to use and exercise throughout your future with just as much courage and resilience as you have right now. The second secret to success is to get comfortable making and recovering from mistakes. That's right, make mistakes. And I know for those type A personalities out there, your insides just recoiled a little bit. And the reason I know that is because I get you. You see, I'm a recovering perfectionist. And while I fully respect that there are times when you need to score high on a test, get an A on a project or a paper, to maintain a grade point average, to support a scholarship, I get it. But as you transition out into the working world, you're graded on a different scale. Instead, you're judged for ideas and innovations and creative thinking. And that often happens in the space of not being afraid to make a mistake, being fearless. The reward for your creative thinking comes not in a letter grade, but rather in the form of a career advancement or a bump in salary. Similar to a challenge, you can take the ache out of a mistake by reframing it as an opportunity rather than a failure. When you do that, it instead becomes a mere stepping stone on your path to something better and bigger. There is freedom and creativity found when you take the pressure off yourself to do something perfectly. So just give it a test drive every once in a while. American televangelist Dr. Robert Schuller said, "I'd rather attempt to do something great and fail than attempt to do nothing and succeed." Or as Eleanor Roosevelt said, "Learn from the mistakes of others. You can't live long enough to make them all yourself." So embrace mistakes as opportunities for learning. Iterate to great. Make cutting-edge discoveries and showcase your innovative thinking. So we've got voice and we've got making mistakes on our list. The third secret to success is to fly like the birds rather than crawl around with the crabs. You see, when crabs are trapped in a bucket, they each try to claw their way to the top. And when one, after much effort, finally manages to reach the rim of the bucket, about to achieve a breakthrough, get to the other side of a barrier, do you know what the other crabs do? They look up at her and they say, "Oh no, she didn't." And they pull their sister crab back inside. So they all remain exactly where they started, where the view is terrible and the options are really boring and limited. Birds, on the other hand, birds lift each other up, literally. So the next time you see birds flying in formation, know that that V stands for victory. And the reason that birds fly that way is so the one in front can provide uplift to the one behind her. And in doing so, they together increase their range by up to, get this, 74%. They fly faster and farther when they fly together than when they go it alone. As women, we have the option and the privilege to provide that uplift for each other. You know, I visited St. Ursula in February of this year and was incredibly impressed with the upgrades and the changes to the school. I'm still surprised that the library no longer has books, but I also really enjoyed seeing the redesign of the cafeteria, designed so that no one will ever have to eat alone and you might be forced to sit next to someone you don't know. At college, when you see someone sitting by herself, remember the cafeteria at SUA. Go up to her, introduce yourself, ask if she minds if you join her. In doing so, you may provide the little bit of uplift that she needs that very day. Another way you can do this is when you're in class or even later on in a boardroom and you see another bird, another young woman, and she's flailing her wings because she has the answer, but she's too shy or too timid to speak up, or she's intimidated by the people around her. You, being strong and centered in your confidence, a graduate of St. Ursula Academy, you'll have the opportunity to again provide some uplift by saying something like, "Hey Blake, you and I were talking about this exact topic earlier. Will you share with the class what you told me? It was a really great idea." In doing so, you provide that boost that she needs. In speaking up that way, you're also demonstrating excellent leadership characteristics of your own. You're honoring the gifts of self-worth that God gave you, and you're saying, come on, we're stronger together, enhancing the journey that you're both on. And you know what else flies? What else flies in addition to birds? Arrows. Arrows fly. And when taken out of their quiver and placed on a bow and pulled back and now released, those well-conditioned, well-educated, spiritually sound arrows, they fly far and they hit their targets. And so, to the graduating class of St. Ursula Academy 2020, I know I speak on behalf of everyone who's in the room with you right now and everyone who is watching this video when I say, we know not only will you fly, Lady Arrows, you will soar. Congratulations. We could not be prouder of you. Good luck and God bless.